Did you watch Mushisher and think, this anime is too friendly? Needs more violence and demons? Well, do I have the anime for you. Dororo takes Mushisher's adventure of roaming rural Japan in search of the unusual, but instead of trying to understand the supernatural like Ginkgo would do, Hyakkimaru massacres them to the very last. He was born as a child of sacrifice. Though he should have died, missing his limbs, most organs, skin, and even a spine at birth, a prosthetics doctor found him down the river and rebuilt him to survive. Now, with each demon he slays, a part of him regrows. His single-minded focus to cleanse the land of demons and regain his body drives him down a dangerous path. Thankfully, the ever-cheerful street rat Dororo latches onto him and claims him for an older brother. The feudal world of Dororo is a harsh one. It does not romanticize the samurai era whatsoever. There was a time when a samurai's primary goal was collecting the heads of enemies, even if it meant taking them by force from allies. After all, the survivor tells the tale. The country is in a state of desolation. Hyakkimaru's father and lord performed the sacrifice to bring prosperity to his state. Samurai or peasant, honor is a scarce resource when starvation grips the soul. Dororo's parents were victims of a battle, an inconsequential skirmish in the grand scheme of things, fought over scraps of power. He now travels with Hyakkimaru in search of demons to slay and food to survive, all the while making the most of life. There is so much to like about Dororo. The titular character is likable from the very first. I love his energy and craftiness. The contrast between him and Hyakkimaru is a perfect balance between the former's bubbly personality and the latter's silence. The perfect foil. Hyakkimaru wouldn't have worked as a protagonist without him. Speaking of, I love the design of Hyakkimaru with the prosthetics, blades hidden inside his arms, and the way he regrows bit by bit. When a new leg shoots out after a kill, it's painful yet great to watch. The more he regrows, the more human he becomes and learns about the world around him. Smell and sound are a surprise. However, he becomes more obsessed with the next kill the closer he gets to completion. His arc is fantastic, culminating in a crazy scenario that I don't even want to hint at. Dororo gripped me from the start. If you want a prime example of how to do a first episode, watch this anime. There are no exposition dumps, no out-of-place humor. We all know another studio would have forced a boob grab or some such cliché, and the showing of the characters, their motivations, and the world is spot on. Then we have the world. The watercolor environments give such a rustic, quaint feel that you wish you could roam that countryside. That is, until you face a demon, or worse, the samurai. I can imagine the Japanese tourist board setting up walking tours to visit the modern equivalent, safe from horrors of course. The charming feel to the world was a great decision, for it lulls the audience into thinking perhaps things aren't so bad, perhaps they have found peace. Then reality hits and all goes to hell. The variety of demons and the way they fit into this world, like a mini fairy tale each episode, is fantastic. Some are simple beasts of instinct, while others are cunning. There's always something new over the next mountain. And it certainly doesn't hurt that the action is exciting with great animation. Doesn't hold back on gore either. Now, I don't recommend this as a binge show. Much like Mushisher, it's best to let it sink in every few episodes. I watched Dororo over the course of 2 months, hence the delay on this request, and would not have had it any other way. The episodic structure, until the final stretch, facilitates this method. Dororo gets better with each episode. Each piece of the puzzles comes together to make one of the decade's best anime. The samurai drama visual style is a success. Plenty of animation too, but it does have to use some TV shortcuts like repeating animations. Beautiful backgrounds are an increasingly rare sight these days. I almost had a serious negative about a casting choice, but it worked perfectly in the end. Acting is solid, though Hyakkimaru isn't quite right. I like the first OP and ED, listening to them each time, but I would skip the second set. A street rat and a cursed child roam a war-torn land in search of food and demons. Dororo doesn't hold back on the realities of war, starvation, and the desperation to survive as it delivers riveting action and an engaging arc. Dororo is a surprise hit for me. I wouldn't want you to miss it, unless you don't like violence.